So in this video we're going to look at some good sailors handling the conditions when it's really windy. This is Sandy sailing at White Rock Lake in Dallas, and even the best sailors get overpowered at times. Here comes a big gust, and he has to just feel the wind to get the boat down. One of the remarkable things about a butterfly is you do not have to weigh a lot to be able to sail in a breeze. This is Pam, and while she doesn't weigh very much at all, she's able to handle the conditions with the right technique. So let's look at Sandy's technique. First thing is, everything is as tight as you can get it. The boom vang, all the controls, and also the main sheet. He's sitting a little back in the boat. The reason is to keep the bow up. If you're too far forward, you can take waves over the bow, which is not good. And he's doing everything he can to keep the boat flat. If the boat heels over too much, he spills wind or he heads up or some combination so that he can keep moving. If you heel over too much, you'll stop and then bad things start to happen. If you're lighter, like Pam, she has to use a slightly different technique. She's got to work really hard to keep the boat down, and she has to always be pinching the boat, as you can see with the sail. Pinching means you always have the front of the sail luffing a little bit to depower. Here we see Tom, one of our most senior sailors. He prefers not to hike, and he's able to handle the conditions very well by simply letting the sail out and again keeping the boat flat. And this is Bruce, who has won the National Butterfly Championships several times. While he's not big, he handles these conditions really well. This is excellent technique for someone who does not weigh a lot sailing in a breeze. Okay, we're going to watch Pam again. She's getting closer to shore, so the waves aren't very big here. Her main problem is keeping the boat flat. She's very light. Watch what happens when a gust hits. Right there, look at the tiller. She's having to bear off really hard. If you cannot keep the boat flat, and she's trying as hard as she can here, then you get too much what's called weather helm, and it really slows you down. This is the single biggest disadvantage that light sailors have in sailing in a breeze. Compare this to Sandy, who probably outweighs Pam by 60 pounds. He has no trouble keeping the boat flat with his technique, mainly because of his weight. So he's able to have the sail in a little closer and power the boat a little more. Of course, during a race we've got to do a lot of tacking. I like to go out before a race and tack maybe 20 times in a row, just to get a feel for the conditions and the boat, and then of course during the race I'm able to do it without thinking twice about it. I try not to look at the boat when I tack, and just concentrate on what's outside the boat. So now we go downwind. I really like the way Sandy sails downwind because the boat's so beautifully balanced. You can see it's balanced by how much steering he has to do, or how much steering he doesn't have to do. He does this by leading the boat to windward a little bit, neutralizing the helm, and then focuses on the waves he's trying to go around or trying to catch. Looks really good. So we're going to look at three jives. One where it's assertive, one where it's not quite as assertive, and one where the gust wins. The trick to jibing, of course, in a breeze is you got to be assertive, like there, and if necessary you want to pull the main sheet in a little bit before you start. Makes it much easier. So now we're going to look at a bit of boat handling in the breezy conditions. This is the leeward mark rounding. This is Sandy in front, nice rounding, boat's nice and flat. What's remarkable in windy conditions is right behind is Pam, who is much lighter but still competitive. Her rounding is a little more difficult because of her weight, but she does a great job keeping the boat flat. Here's another look at Pam rounding the leeward mark. She gets all the controls right to flatten the sail, and then hikes like crazy. This is excellent technique for a light sailor sailing in breezy conditions. So we're going to end this video by watching an excellent start in breezy conditions. Let's listen in.